We had the first alpha playtest yesterday, and the leaks weren't all over the place. Like, honestly, it was like 4 or 5 videos. Some of them were around 10 to 12 minutes. Some were shorter, some like 5 minutes. We had some like 30 to 40 minutes of gameplay, not like very solid, but the player skill was, mediocre. So you could understand a few things just by looking at this gameplay. So I'm going to give you what my takes were. I'm going to let you in on some of the reactions to this playtest, and we're going to discuss what's good and what's not about this alpha playtest that we had yesterday. So as you guys probably know, Rush was being tested. In my opinion, Rush is one of the key game modes of Battlefield games. You guys probably agree on that because it's an OG game mode, and Bad Company 2, some people actually believe that Rush was the best game mode of Battlefield 3 as well. Well, you can argue that, but that is a common belief in the community. So you can't actually ignore Rush because it's one of the most important game modes out there in Battlefield. I'm looking at the atmosphere when it comes to Rush, and in all of these leaks, basically, you could feel like there's a ongoing chaos all over the map, and you could exactly tell the difference between Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield Labs. It was obvious. 2042 feels rigid and it doesn't really feel grounded at all, whereas Battlefield Labs Rush felt completely chaotic, and it was really closer to what experiences we're used to as Battlefield players. In one of the videos, there's someone playing vehicles. In my opinion, the vehicles look very better when it comes to ammunition and sound design. Maybe the movement is still not there. Maybe the movement looks a lot like 2042. By the way, I don't think 2042's movement is all that bad. 2042's vehicle movement looks rigid and it doesn't really look real, but it's not bad for a video game, and I understand that. However, they can actually improve upon that in the next Battlefield game. But in my opinion, it's the weapons on vehicles, especially on tanks, because that was in the video that we're specifically talking about. Those are great, and the sound design for vehicles is actually on point. This dude was shooting the heavy machine gun on the tank, and it really sounded very good. The recoil was there. You could actually feel that there's a recoil on that weapon on the tank, so that's also a good point. We still see engineers with 2 rocket launchers. I have no idea if that is going to be a balancing issue or not, but that's not something I've ever seen in a Battlefield game. In my opinion, that can actually make problems, but I'm not really sure about that because I haven't played the game. I don't know if it actually affects the balance of the game and how will it affect it. So I'm just putting my concerns out there, but I can't really be sure about this because nobody really talks about it. It feels like it's not a big deal to most of the people, to most players at least, but I have to put my concerns out there because that might be something that goes off balance and makes some problems. I don't really know. Cairo Map apparently had some changes and people are happy about it. I don't know exactly what the changes were, but it feels like people are actually liking it more than it was before, and that's also good news. Some people say that the recoil is not there. Some people say that the weapons actually feel like laser beams again, just like 2042. In my opinion, that was for early days of 2042. Now weapons in 2042 actually have some recoil. You kind of get to use that tap firing in 2042 nowadays because there's visual recoil. The recoil on weapons is right there, and you can't really ignore it. You can't say 2042 is laser beaming people anymore because that's not true, okay? And in this game, I specifically advise people to just not judge the recoil based on what they see, like based on gameplay, because you have to be there. There are so many things that actually come into play when it comes to controlling recoil. We've got aim assist, we've got player skill level, we've got hardware. There are so many things. We've got consoles, PC, how good of a PC gamer you are, how good of a console player you are, how strong that aim assist, the settings. There are so many things actually coming into play when it comes to controlling recoil. And I've been accused of being a cheater for having no recoil for countless times in my videos because people actually judge you by your gameplay. And in my gameplays, you don't really have sound, and you might not believe this, but when the sound of a video is lowered, you actually feel like there's no recoil. There's some sort of relationship between recoil and sound. You have to actually hear it to kind of understand the recoil. Even sometimes when I look at my gameplay, it feels like that sound is absent, and I kind of feel like there's little to no recoil because that's what you see in the gameplay when you don't hear anything or you don't hear enough, right? So don't really judge recoil based on what you see on gameplays. You have to understand that you need to play the game. You have to fire those weapons to be able to tell if they're laser beaming or the game actually has some sort of recoil, and that player was just better in controlling it. Voice lines really suck in my opinion. Like, if there's one specific negative point about Battlefield Labs Labs so far is the voice lines. Absolutely ridiculous. And if we're gonna get these in the main game, we're basically cooked because they don't really have any sort of military voice lines. I'm pretty sure if you go ahead and listen to what cartels say when they're engaging with military personnel, their voice lines, what they say in real life, looks way more natural than what these people as military people say in Battlefield Labs. Like, that's ridiculous. Every single time there's some different dude or female speaking behind the radio. That's just not there, bro. You have Battlefield 1 for voice lines. You have Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, and those games really need to inspire you, okay? What we hear in Battlefield Labs isn't what we really want to hear in the main game. So if these are subject to change, in my opinion, they have to come out and talk about it. By the way, they're not publishing anything, any news about their progress in Battlefield Labs. After that class system outrage, we haven't heard from them at all, but they have to come out and actually talk about voice lines as well, because in my opinion, this is not it, okay? The gameplay looks good, but the voice lines actually ruin it. The voice lines actually take away that feeling of groundedness. The TTK feels on point to me. Some people think that the TTK is too fast. In my opinion, it's okay. Like, sometimes if you actually pay attention, sometimes you feel like the TTK isn't really that fast. The dude's firing 5-6 bullets with an M4 and the enemy finally dies. So the TTK, in my opinion, isn't that bad. There shouldn't be that much of a focus on something like TTK because it just doesn't feel that bad or that fast or, you know, so slow to be talking about it so much. It feels to me like it's on point. And if there's any need to changing it wouldn't be so hard, honestly. So don't really think about that too much. In my opinion, throwing in this game still feels off, or maybe the players don't even know how to do that properly. But what I see in the leaks, the throwings aren't really that effective. People just throw something and it kind of lands in front of them. It feels like they're so heavy, or there's not much of a power to throwing those frag grenades and stuff. You can actually hold that throw button and it throws it far away. But if you just press it, it just throws it like a few meters in front of you. And in my opinion, either the players don't know how to use it or it's broken. Either way, we're going to find out soon, because this game will soon exit alpha and will go into beta, okay? That will be the interesting time when a lot of people will be able to play the game. And finally, this is something minor, but I just noticed that when you're being set on fire, it kind of messes up with your visibility. It feels like even your weapon is on fire. Everything around you is on fire and you can't really see anything going on around you. And I'm not talking about being lit up by incendiaries. No, there's a small fire on the ground and you kind of go prone on it and you're set on fire like you're being hit by 3 incendiaries and you can't really see anything. So in my opinion, those visibility stuffs should actually be taken care of. Not that big of a deal, but it was something that I noticed and I was like, I have to, put this out. Make sure to go down in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think about the leaks. Let me know what you think about what I've said in the video. If there is something I'm missing, you make sure to go down and comment it down below. Let me know if there's something you guys want to be issued, you guys want to be addressed, and I'm pretty sure the comment section will be a rich place. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it was somewhat informative. Thank you all guys for watching. Until next time, guys, stay cool.